Welcome back to Inside Politics. It's Labor Day weekend. That's a traditional beginning of the presidential campaign. Of course, this presidential campaign's been going on a whole lot longer, full blast before that. We have Scottie Hughes, the surrogate for Donald Trump, with us, and we have Mary Mancini, the chairman of the Tennessee Democratic Party, who's a Hillary Clinton supporter. Several national media outlets have already been projecting for a couple of weeks now, Scottie, that Hillary Clinton's above 270 in safe states, and even if Donald Trump won all the remaining battleground states, he couldn't win the presidency. Is that something you're going to have to get people on your side not to be discouraged about?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about engagement. It's all about turning people out to the polls on election day. That's one of the reasons why Romney lost, is that it's not that his message didn't resonate, it's that people were not engaged to turn out. 4 million evangelicals supposedly stayed home. Mr. Trump has got to make sure, and I think that's why you see this idea of race being interesting. I think Hillary Clinton's a little bit worried right now about minorities did a phenomenal job in 2008 to getting to the polls to do something historic. In 2012, to elect a person that represented their values, but to be a part of history. You don't get that this time, and I think Hillary, that's why you see 100, 200 people at her rallies compared to the 10, 12, 15,000 at Donald Trump rallies. She has a problem right now with engagement, and you've seen her numbers go from 92% of Democrats were guaranteed to vote for Hillary Clinton. She's dropping to 85%. Most polls show her dropping in numbers. But
Mary, the numbers for Donald Trump in terms of Republicans are in the high 70s, so his number of Republicans voting for him are much lower. But the polls have tightened some, at least nationally, in the last couple of days. What does that mean? Is she having another sinking spell in the polls as she did back in July, right before the convention, after what happened with the FBI?
It's a long election season, so this kind of stuff happens all the time. But I will agree with Scottie that it is about engagement, and it is about getting out the vote. And so that's why I encourage every Democrat to get out and vote. Every independent who doesn't think that Donald Trump is equipped or has the temperament or has the experience to run this country, to get out and vote for Hillary Clinton. And there are a lot of folks like that. Again, his poll numbers amongst Republicans are lower than Hillary Clinton amongst Democrats. So, it is about engagement. And she, the thing about Secretary Clinton is when she speaks, people respond positively because her message is one of building bridges. Her message is one of inclusion. Her message is one of, what makes this country great, right? What was this country built on? And that is our diversity. And that is our not being afraid of bringing people in, not running towards voters, as opposed to Donald Trump, who we see, it's all about fear. It's all about the other. It's all about demonizing somebody that's different than you. That's not who we are. That's not what this country is. And that is certainly not who Secretary Clinton is.
But isn't, to some degree, both campaigns have been sort of a race to the bottom? How much can we attack the other side to see what sticks, particularly in the battleground states? I don't see necessarily the campaigns running particularly on positive messages.
I have to disagree with that. Yeah.
You've seen a positive Hillary Clinton commercial? Because I've seen mainly attacking Donald Trump on her commercials.
Well, it depends what you're talking about. When you're talking about TV, perhaps, but I'm talking about the campaign holistically, right? I mean, we're not just about TV. We're about a ground game. We're about social media. We're about why I'm a Democrat and why I'm voting, why I'm a Republican and why I'm voting for Hillary Clinton, why I am a Gold Star family and voting for Hillary Clinton, why I am a Republican, ex-Secretary of State that's voting for Hillary Clinton, whatever the case may be, this group of U.S. senators that are voting for Hillary Clinton. I mean, that's what I see, so you can isolate TV if you'd like, but that's not what every campaign is about.
Scottie, you mentioned TV. Donald Trump is beginning his own TV now for the first time, but he's doing it in states like Colorado and Virginia where he is down by double digits. That would seem to be a waste of time and money.
Well, that's up for the campaign to decide what they want to do. But, Mr. Trump is the good thing about Mr. Trump, his best advertisement is every time an American goes home and they open up their paycheck and they realize that more is going to the federal government, and what are they getting for it? We saw the latest job numbers came out on Friday that manufacturing lost 14,000 jobs in this last sector. 151,000 jobs were added, but that's a shortfall of 16%. Majority of Americans, while we want to put this rosy, smiley, happy face on it as the Democrats do, the majority of Americans right now, even here in Tennessee, are seeing their health care costs have come up. They've lost being able to see to their doctors, have a whole litany of things that does not seem right for the amount that they're paying to the government.
Mary,
that's our best advertisement.
The Federal Reserve, Mary, is looking at perhaps raising interest rates before the election. That can't be good news for Hillary Clinton.
Well, look, look, I want to talk a little bit about the state of Tennessee, and that's run by a supermajority of Republicans right now. And I think, again, I'm going to agree with you, right? The people in Tennessee are suffering under a supermajority of Republicans because they believe that privatization, right, and the jobs that they bring to this state are jobs, but they're not good paying jobs. They're not jobs that allow a family to be able to work 1 or 2 jobs to make ends meet so they could have dinner with their kids at night at the dinner table, right? Like, that's what Tennessee is doing right now. Insure Tennessee, right? They had the ability to give access to 300,000 hardworking Tennesseans access to affordable health care. And the Republicans voted against it because, if this wasn't true, they quote unquote wanted to keep costs down in the state, or taxes down, or whatever the reason was, even though it was completely paid for by the federal government and the Tennessee Hospital Association. So when you look at what happened here in Tennessee, right, and you project that to Donald Trump, who wants the same exact policies, who may have created jobs, but how many of them were good paying jobs, right? How many of them were full-time jobs? How many of them were jobs with benefits that allowed a family to work 1 or 2 jobs to make ends meet? That is what I fear for this, what's happening in the state will happen in this country too, if he is elected president.
Very briefly, Scottie.
Mr. Trump created about 33,000 jobs. There's a reason why people like his butler and those who've been with him for 20, 30 years. Here in Tennessee, we actually did very well because we don't have an income tax. We did better than much better than the rest of the country, but that doesn't mean we're still not hurting underneath the federal government run by a Democrat administration, the oppression that we're having to deal with.
Scottie Hughes, Mary Mancini, thank you both for coming on the show. You're good surrogates for your candidates. We appreciate you being here. And thank you for joining us on Inside Politics this week. Hope you'll be back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, go to the News Channel 5 website. You'll find my Capitol View commentary there. There's a new commentary posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here next time. Goodbye.